Worst part is that because he's like, oh, well, since there's all this flame, everyone fucking hates me, I'm gonna record this to try to prove my innocence. I'm gonna try, instead of calling the police because the police don't like me very much, I'm gonna record this video of my child bleeding out on the pavement to try to prove to the court that I am innocent. That's the type of fucking person that we're talking about. Now, usually at the beginning of these videos, or in the description, I'm commentary YouTuber, we usually say, oh, don't go out, witch hunt this person, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying you should witch hunt Onision, because that actually give him attention, but usually we mock what the person is doing, not the person themselves. However, Onision is a special case. Many of you know he's one of the YouTube greats. However, he stuck around the same subscribers for a very long amount of time. Now, that's no shade, because I've done the same thing, but the reason that Onision has is basically because he has started beef with basically every single community, every single person imaginable. The only person who agrees with Onision is basically Onision himself. It's also the fact that he's a pedophile and potential child murderer. He's a confirmed pedophile, but he could have potentially killed his kid, which is not exactly family friendly. Onision and Sora are like that weird person at school. Everyone has their own sort of Onision story about him being just basically a cunt, pretty much. There's that one time that his girlfriend, who was like bisexual, was like kissing other people, and he was taking pictures of it, and he was trying to argue that he wasn't a cuck when he was like, I don't think I have to explain why that makes no fucking sense. There's also the time that he was trying to call out people like iDubbbz, Leafy's Hero, Power Cynical, basically just everyone that was passing him in relevance and was like being a quote-unquote edgy commentator, because I'm from fucking Canada, right? And I'm in a left, basically like a libtard part of Canada, but like Onision is like fucking crazy. Like, he says that people are not heterosexual, they're gynosexual, because you don't want to fuck everyone on the street. Like, also, even though it's known that everyone hates him, he's just making shit points. He tries to say that YouTube itself is out to get him. That YouTube is like going in saying, you know, freeze the views so it does not get onto the trending. He's basically trying to say that that's the reason why it's not growing. And if he's saying that he is the one getting fucking bogged, then I'm fucked, because I literally average negative like 3,000 subs a month or something. So if YouTube has something against him, then YouTube just straight wants to fucking kill me. So there's also that. Like, I'm just saying, if you have a million subs in the first place, then YouTube doesn't fucking hate you. The reason you're saying a million subs is because you just don't know how to shut the fuck up, and you keep on talking bullshit about everyone, making up a whole bunch of shit and spitting it to your impressionable 12-year-old fan base who doesn't give a fuck about what you say because they're just sucking your dick every day on Patreon. Onision is basically just the most unlikable person of all time. There's also the time where someone died and people were sending him prayers like how they usually do. But just imagine this is fucking Etika, right? Like, Etika died, and everyone's giving fucking prayers to him because, you know, it's a pretty sad loss. A lot of people loved him. Fuck, I loved him even. But people were like, oh, rest in peace, you know, pray for you, all that type of stuff that people usually do. And Onision was like, bro, why the fuck are you praying for him? There's no God. Look at you fucking dumbasses. Why are you saying this to bring him back? It's not gonna bring him back. It's like, dude, it's like the day after as well. It's like, I don't care if you're a fucking atheist or you're like some fucking religious bullshit, but I think it's pretty much goes without saying that it's pretty impossible to agree with something like that. And Onision's greatest achievement in life was when he peaked back at his beginning of his career. We made the I Am a Banana video. We all love that video. We all watch it every single day of our lives. It's just the greatest fucking thing. It's what you see when you're at the gates of heaven and you just look up and you see Onision's fucking $2 peanut butter daily time banana suit there. Onision has been kind of sus because his wife, like, turned 18 while they were dating, and his past relationships have been with barely legal 18-year-old girls. But he has been turned out to be an actual pedophile. Now, I'm not saying this to be like Keemstar or anything. I'm talking about the pedophile that has his consent and show up at your door and want to talk to you, basically, about why you're such a piece of shit. There's a whole lore story behind this, but to briefly sum it up, there was some girl who apparently ran away from her parents. I know it was like multiple, but there was a girl who ran away from her parents who was like 16. And Onision was basically like taking care of her or some shit like that. And what would happen is that they would move out of state to a place where the age of consent is 16, and then have sex there, and then drive back. So it's, I mean, technically it's not illegal kind of, sort of. It's extremely fucking scummy, and I would say he's a pedophile. I'm pretty sure everyone would. Like, it's just fucking gross. I mean, even if it is legal, it's like, I mean, think about if you're in high school or something, like a grade 12, you know, like 16, 17-year-old dates like a 13-year-old. That's kind of fucking weird, but Onision's like 30, fucking 20, like 40 something. And he's dating some 16-year-old. I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't know what to tell you about that. That seems a bit, that seems not okay. I'm just saying. You know, I know it's a very controversial hot take or something, but I think having sex with a 16-year-old when you're 40 is not okay, alright? But put that on my channel banner, put a card somewhere on the screen. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Legal, but not a good idea. The Onision. But yeah, so because of shit like this, and also the fact that his fanbase is basically 12-year-old girls, this is fine, because my fanbase is also like 14-year-old girls. There was a thing where Onision would rate someone's looks out of 10, you know, the very classic scumbag move, basically. Girls would send in pictures, sometimes of them half nude. Apparently some of them sent nude pictures, which isn't even like a surprise. And it was like, oh, guess how hot this girl is. And, you know, he would usually shit on them. And then some person wrote a thing, which I actually have it up here, and it said, 3 months without cutting. And then Onision said something shitty about me. He made fun of my arms, he made fun of my face. I can't believe it. Someone I look up to could say such harsh things about me in front of everybody. I just want to die. It's been so long since I've cut, and now I decided to relapse because I believe that no one will ever find me pretty. So, Onision talks about body positivity and then says shit like this to his own fan base, and then this is the result. Hell yeah, Onision. Good job. Just because that game wasn't, you know, creepy and scummy enough, he also had another game where he would try to guess if someone was 18 or not. And this is kind of the cursed one, because I remember there was a girl who was like 13 or something. And like, you know, he talked about how he wanted to fuck her and all that stuff, and he's like, oh, it's 13, so no, it's okay. Someone said that they were 16, and then his response was exactly close enough. So, all that evidence put in there, it's more here or go. I mean, him going traveling places to have sex with a 16-year-old girl, that came out way later. But this was enough to get Chris Hansen to open a case file on him. And, you know, come to his house and basically just be like, bruh, like have a seat over here. Like, we need to, let's talk. And what Onision decides to do is call the cops on Chris Hansen. And it's actually a phone call. And it's actually fucking hilarious. Because it's not like, he's like, oh, there's a guy at my door with cameras. And he's stalking me or something, right? And then the fucking 911 operator is like, oh, well, like, do you know who it is or whatever? And he says, oh, it's Chris Hansen. And the person you could just hear, like, they're trying to be professional, you could hear like the, what the fuck? It's like that type of silence where it's like, you just know. Nothing was said, but you know, right? You just know that the person was like, you know who it is too. It's not like some random person, you know it's Chris Hansen, you know he's at your door. Well, what the fuck am I getting myself into? So then he sent a police car over. Police like, oh yeah, it's your boy Chris Hansen. And then he does a whole investigation, all that shit. Police talk to Chris Hansen, they tell him that they have done various checks up on the house. Like it's a house that's been marked as known for being sus, basically, where they'll just randomly come in and they'll be like, hey, you know, you doing anything fucked up in here? So it's already a marked house. And because of all this suspicion, you know, the fact that his public opinion has got to shit, he's burned all his bridges on YouTube, no one wants to talk to him, his neighbors apparently don't want to talk to him, and his house is just like a cursed fucking place. He's like, okay, I'm gonna show that I'm good, I'm gonna show that I'm a great person. His kid crawled out of a window and fell on the pavement and was like, bleeding to death, literally. And you could try to argue, oh, well, maybe he didn't know or blah, blah, blah. Well, his girl is like 3 or 6. So, this is clearly not okay. I live in Canada, but I feel like in the US there's probably something that says that this is not fine. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that because he's like, oh, well, since there's all this flame, everyone fucking hates me, I'm gonna record this to try to prove my innocence. I'm gonna try, instead of calling the police, because the police don't like me very much, I'm gonna record this video of my child bleeding out on the pavement to try to prove to the court that I am innocent. That's the type of fucking person that we're talking about. Now, of course, this makes all the shit that he's done in the past look kind of small. Like, yeah, he's manipulated his subscribers to saying that, you know, he was fucking dying and he was broke, and, you know, you had to donate to me. And then he did a whole bunch of shit. He talked a whole bunch of shit about YouTubers for no fucking reason. But I feel like that's on our level. That's in the YouTube bubble that the fucking cops don't really care about. But if your child is bleeding to death and you're recording a video on it, I don't know. Something about that just doesn't seem exactly right to me. It kind of seems like you're just kind of a piece of shit person, to be honest. And I've never been this tilted about someone ever, but it's like, it's like, think about this. It's a YouTuber who knows what he's doing. It's not even like, it's like a compulsive thing, like, oh, my kid happened to fall out the window. I called the police at the hospital, I tried to help him. It's like, no, kid happened to fall out the window, let me record this. It's like, oh, it's not like, I was at a party, I got drunk, and then, this girl came up and it's like, oh, I thought she's 16. It's like, no, I knew this girl was 16, so I went to a state to have sex with her. Like, he knows what he is doing. He knows he's a piece of shit. But, it just doesn't fucking matter to him. Because, I don't know, this guy's just fucked in the head. Put him in a cage, alright? I hope this goes through so you can put him in a cage. Don't let us sell just a cage with fucking boot gang and just put him in there for life, alright? Alicia is someone I want to talk about for a while. I even have like this document of video ideas, and Onision is even on here, and this was made in like 2017 or some shit. And now seems like the perfect time to talk about him because all of the bullshit that's happened with them. Oh, it's kind of funny because now I'm talking about him, all this stuff is happening. No one else really talking about him because no one else wants to give him any sort of relevance again. So, it's kind of funny how that works. So, takeaway from this video, just don't be a pedophile. Don't lie about a whole bunch of bullshit. Don't be a hypocrite. And, I don't know. Subscribe or something. I don't fucking know. Peace, guys.